Hi, let's talk about the power of attorney and what it means to you and what you need to know about it. To begin, before you view this video, please press the pause key and print both of the forms, the power of attorney forms and the authorization of representation. That's Form 2848 and Form 8821. And once you print them, then go ahead and push the play button again. If you are representing a client before the Internal Revenue Service, you need either one of these forms, the 2848, which is Power of Attorney and Declaration of Representative, or the 8821, which is Tax Information Authorization. Now, there are differences. Before I begin, I'd like to make one thing clear. If you're representing yourself, you don't need a power of attorney from yourself. Only when you're representing other taxpayers before the Internal Revenue Service. The power of attorney form, which is Form 2848, go ahead and turn to page 2, and if you look at Part 3, Declaration of Representative, any of these individuals are able to represent clients before the IRS. Attorneys, if you're an attorney, no problem. If you're a certified public accountant, if you are an enrolled agent, if you are an officer of a corporation, a full-time employee of the taxpayer, a family member, an enrolled actuary, and I've never understood that is, or an unenrolled return preparer. So if you were the one who prepared the tax return, you are allowed to use Form 2848 to represent your client. Now, keep one thing in mind. Many individuals are not attorneys or CPAs. Because to become an attorney, it takes a lot of schooling, 7-8 years. To become a CPA, you have to get your bachelor's or master's in accounting and then work for a firm for 2 years to accumulate your audit hours, sit for the CPA exam, pass it. It's quite difficult. Many people opt in or opt to take the enrolled agent's exam. I took it. I am an enrolled agent. And it's not that simple, but there are many schooling on the subject where they will teach you how to sit and pass for the exam. So if you're not an enrolled agent, I suggest it very strongly to become one. And that way you have full authority to represent any taxpayer before any IRS division across the entire nation or even worldwide, that is. So let's begin with the 2848 and follow through with me so you understand how to fill it out. The first paragraph on number 1, taxpayer names and addresses. So you list their name, addresses, their social security numbers, if you follow through with me. If there's husband and wife, well, then you list them. Daytime phone number for your client, not yours. Employer identification number, if they do have one, go ahead and list it here. Especially if you're representing 941 issues or 940 issues or a corporation, then you don't have a social security number. List EIN number here. The representative, that would be your name and address. And there's more cases if you have employees that work for you that will be listed on the same power of attorney. If you look to the right, it asks you for a CAF number. If you've never filed the power of attorney with the IRS or the Tax Information Authorization, Form 8821, the first time you file one of these, the IRS will assign you a CAF number. And that pretty much informs the IRS of who you are. Your phone number comes underneath it, fax number. And then if you go down to paragraph 3, you have tax matters. If you are representing a 1040, well, then you're going to write in income, because 1040 is an income tax return, or an 1120, a corporate return, or a partnership return, a 1065. If you are representing a client on employment tax issues, well, then you will have to put down employment under tax matters. The form number, tax form number, whether it is a 1040, 1041, a 941 issue, employment tax issues, a 940. So you put that in here. Years or periods, this is very important because many of the time, if I'm representing a client that has unfiled tax returns for 10 years, I will, let's say we're doing 1995 to the year 2005. Well, then I will put in 1995 through 2005. That this covers the entire 10-year periods. On the second page, you need to get the signature of your client. So make sure they sign the title. Let's assume you're representing a corporation. You might want to put in here president, CEO, etc. Print name, so you need to print their name. And then at the bottom of the page, it says designation, insert above, letter A to F, A to R, I'm sorry. So for me, for example, I am an enrolled agent, so I put in the letter C. I do have an ID, and I insert that here. If you're a CPA, you might have an ID or an attorney or a bar. You sign it and date it. And that's all the 2848 is all about. So read it, read the instructions, and so forth. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the 8821. The 8821, it gives you limited authority in representing taxpayers before the IRS. Pretty much, it authorizes the IRS to discuss and provide specific confidential tax return information to individuals. So you can pretty much give and receive information from the IRS, but you cannot sign off on behalf of your client. If you're representing an audited taxpayer and there's an audit report, the 4549, you can't sign off on it. The taxpayer, he or she must sign off on the audit report. But you can give the IRS information and receive information. I know many people that do use the Form 8821. They pretty much, you won't have a problem with it with the examination division. Sometimes revenue officers from the collection division might give you a little bit of a hard time. And the 8821 is to fill out then the 2848. So again, if you look at page 1, you put the taxpayer's name, social, address, phone number, EIN number if applicable, the tax years that you're representing, the form number, years, and then you must get their signatures as well. And once you do that, if you are dealing with a practitioner priority service as one of our topics here with IRS University, make sure you have these handy if you contact them, because they will ask you to fax it to them. Again, I will suggest that if you're not an attorney, a CPA, an enrolled agent, to go for it and do become an enrolled agent. If you ever have any questions about it, visit our community and just ask your question, and we're to help you. We will respond to them. Those of you who are experienced, please jump in and help out as well. And that pretty much covers the power of attorney. Our next topic will be the IRS audit letter, so go ahead and click on that one and let's discuss the audit letter.